There's someone working away in the shadows this evening, making sure that I sound okay and making sure that the films that you're watching come up. And in fact, he scored the films and edited them and made my shoddy film work look much better than what it was. He is one of Cork Simon's activities team most dedicated and well-loved volunteers, Tim McCarthy.
Thanks very much. Hello everybody, there's no point telling you who I am. George is after doing that. I've been working on and off with Simon for the past couple of years, and I've gotten to know quite a few of the long-term residents, and I made a few friends, and I was delighted earlier in the year when George asked me to help out with this project, and I was particularly pleased when she asked if I would do a piece on the show for the work of our next participant, who unfortunately can't be here tonight. I first met this wild, talented, entertaining phenomenon when Dave O'Hanlon, the activities coordinator at the time, decided to throw me in at the deep end and send me to Millhouse with Ray Maguire from Kildare to give guitar lessons to a client. The client, Ray and I, we were starting to enjoy ourselves, and we were making a bit of noise, singing a few songs, when this big presence burst into the room, inquiring loudly in an unmistakable Dublin accent, did we know any Dason songs? So, of course, being from Cork, we asked him, did he know any Dason songs? And he said, you know, maybe he'd show us how to do it, and we told him by all means. So he did immediately, without even stopping to sit down. I don't think he could, he was in a bit of a hurry. And well, as soon as he got himself comfortable, he announced that he was James Joyce, the writer from Dublin. And before we'd even considered taking the piss, no offence to all the nice ladies up there at the back, that he was the real thing, he was here, wasn't he? And that other fella, well, he wasn't. No. So we started a bit of a racket, and we ended up making noise and doing a lot of, you know, nice songs and stuff. And we attracted a few passers-by, some staff joined in, and we were joined by another client, our good friend Joe from Mayo, who we found out later happened to be quite an accomplished box player. Oh. A champion, I'm told, and yes, he proved that accordingly as time went on. The crack was great, so we decided to do it again, and then we did it again, until the thing evolved into a regular weekly music event that gained a notoriety which was mostly fueled by James' eclectic and often outrageous choice of songs, many of them done spontaneously, ad-lib, you know yourself. This included everything from the haunting Fury song Sweet 16 to a song about Cadbury's cream eggs and a hilarious version of Frank Zappa's Very Blue Bobby Brown. And I don't mean blue the colour. Delivered at full volume, lest anyone had any doubts left that we were now singing Dason songs. James reckoned that our success was like a ball of dung rolling downhill, fast and out of control, but we were getting bigger and bigger, like the dung. And he said we reminded him of dung beetles, so we became, he said, like he deemed that we should be known as the dung beetles henceforth. So every Tuesday, every week, we used to have, you know, dung beetles sessions, and we became very, very popular. They were supplemented by great contributors from many people, particularly honorary dung beetles Kenny and Anne-Marie, a great young volunteer fiddle player from, I think, somewhere in Eastern Europe called Petra. She really brightened the whole thing up. James is boisterous and witty, and when not distracted by the occasional demon, he's an articulate, gentle, considerate, and charming divil. who falls in love as often as he has turning points, and he has more turning points on the way home from the post office every Thursday than most of us do in our lifetime. Who goes to the same post office? We all encounter the occasional demon along the way, and one of James' ways to deal with his is to use his considerable writing talents to create some really good stories and poems. Verses and words that I hope will charm and entertain you all for the next 10 minutes or so. And I'm going to sing a song to words that he put together. It's called A Song for Gabby. He was, as I said, he used to fall in love quite a lot, so she was one of his muses for a while, and that will be followed by a recording done in a kind of a different style. Something else that he wrote, and as is befitting of its author and its theme, being given a bit of an experimental approach. And after that, you'll hear a recording of a story from James. The story speaks for itself, and it'll be read by a friend of mine, Conor McManus, who's a poet who does poetry sessions with O'Vale. If anybody has time to go into town anytime, if you see it advertised, I'd recommend you go along. It's quite entertaining. Thank you. Travelled across this fair green land, and I've met all kinds of people, till I met this bonny German lass, who's as tall as the finest steeple. I came from Dublin, cap in hand, never knowing what to find, but what I found was a German girl, so gentle and so kind. She always had a lovely smile and eyes you could fall into. So here's to her, I'm glad we met, the only girl I ever looked up to. From Dublin, cap in hand, never knowing what I'd find, but what I found was a German girl, so gentle and so kind. She always had that lovely smile and eyes you could fall into. So here's to you, I'm glad we met, the only girl I ever looked up to. Thanks very much, thank you. Don't go away, there's more to come.